Have you ever woken up feeling like your energy tank is already half empty? Like no matter how much you rest, you just can't seem to shake that sluggish feeling? You're not alone. So many of us over 60 notice that our energy isn't what it used to be. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay that way. The truth is, some of the things we do or don't do every day might be quietly draining our energy without us even realizing it. And the best part? Fixing them is easier than you might think. In this video, we're going to uncover 4 common mistakes that sabotage your energy after 60, and more importantly, how to turn things around so you can feel vibrant, lively, and ready to enjoy every day to the fullest. Now, let's start with the first mistake, and this one might surprise you. Mistake number 1, skipping protein at breakfast. You've probably heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but what you eat for breakfast matters just as much as eating it at all. If you're starting your day with just toast and jam, a bowl of cereal, or even just coffee, you're setting yourself up for an energy crash by mid-morning. Here's why. As we get older, our bodies don't process protein as efficiently, and we actually need more of it to maintain muscle and energy. Without enough protein in the morning, your blood sugar can spike and then drop, leaving you feeling tired, foggy, and craving more carbs. So what's the fix? Try adding a good source of protein to your breakfast. Something like eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or even a handful of nuts. It doesn't have to be a big change. Just a couple of eggs or a scoop of yogurt can make a world of difference in keeping your energy steady throughout the day. And here's a little tip. If you're not used to eating much protein in the morning, start small. Maybe add a slice of cheese to your toast or mix some nut butter into your oatmeal. Small steps can lead to big changes in how you feel. Mistake number 2, staying too still. Now, this one might sound a little counterintuitive. If you're feeling tired, shouldn't you rest more? Well, yes, but also no. The problem is, when we slow down too much, our bodies start to slow down with us. Muscle loss speeds up, circulation gets sluggish, and before you know it, even small tasks start to feel exhausting. The key is finding the right balance between rest and movement. You don't have to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. Simple, gentle movement throughout the day can work wonders. A short walk around the block, some light stretching, or even just standing up and moving for a few minutes every hour can help keep your energy up. Think of it like this. Your body is like a car. If it sits in the garage too long, the battery drains and the engine gets stiff. But if you take it out for a little drive regularly, everything stays running smoothly. So, if you've been feeling like you just don't have the energy to move much, try this. Start with just 5 minutes. Walk around your living room. Do some seated leg lifts while watching TV, or even just stand up and stretch every time a commercial comes on. You might be amazed at how much more energy you have when you keep the gentle momentum going. Now, these first 2 mistakes are big ones, but they're also some of the easiest to fix. And once you start making these small adjustments, you'll be ready to tackle the next 2 energy saboteurs, which we'll dive into next. Because when it comes to feeling your best after 60, every little change adds up. You know, it's funny. Sometimes the things we think are helping our energy levels are actually working against us. We might believe we're doing everything right, only to realize there's a hidden habit or 2 quietly draining our vitality. That's why it's so important to take a closer look at how we're spending our days, especially when it comes to the next 2 mistakes. Mistake number 3, not drinking enough water. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've heard this 1,000 times. Drink more water. But here's the thing. As we get older, our sense of thirst isn't as sharp as it used to be. You might not even realize you're dehydrated until you're already feeling sluggish, a little dizzy, or even more achy than usual. Dehydration doesn't just make you thirsty. It slows down your whole system. Your blood gets thicker, your muscles tire faster, and even your brain has to work harder to focus. And if you're drinking a lot of coffee or tea, that can actually make things worse, since caffeine can dehydrate you even more. So, how do you fix this without forcing down gallons of water all day? Try this. Keep a glass or bottle of water nearby, wherever you spend the most time. Next to your favorite chair on the kitchen counter, or by your bedside. Take small sips throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. And if plain water feels boring, Try adding a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a splash of fruit juice to make it more refreshing. Here's a little trick to check if you're drinking enough. Take a look at the color of your urine. If it's pale yellow, you're doing great. If it's dark, that's your body's way of saying, "Hey, I need more water." Mistake number 4, poor sleep habits. This one's a biggie. You might think that because you're older, you don't need as much sleep. But that's not true. What has changed, though, is how well we sleep. Maybe you find yourself waking up more often during the night, or struggling to fall asleep in the first place. And when sleep suffers, so does your energy the next day. But here's the good news. You don't have to just accept restless nights as part of getting older. Small tweaks to your evening routine can make a huge difference. For example, that evening cup of coffee or tea. Try switching to decaf after 2 p.m., the blue light from your TV or phone. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to wind down. Try turning off screens at least an hour before bed and reading a book or listening to soft music instead. Another tip, keep your bedroom cool and dark. Our bodies sleep best in a slightly cooler environment. So if you've been piling on the blankets, try turning down the thermostat a degree or 2. And if street lights or early sunrise light is sneaking in, blackout curtains or a simple sleep mask can work wonders. Now, I know changing sleep habits isn't always easy, especially if you've had the same routine for years. But even just picking one small thing to adjust can lead to better rest and more energy during the day. And speaking of energy, these 4 mistakes we've covered so far, skipping protein, staying too still, not drinking enough water, and poor sleep, are some of the biggest culprits when it comes to feeling drained. But there's still more to explore, including how stress and even certain medications can play a role. So let's keep going, because the more you know, the better you'll feel. And that's what really matters. You know, when it comes to keeping our energy up after 60, sometimes it's the little things, the habits we hardly even notice, that make the biggest difference. We've already talked about how skipping protein, sitting too much, not drinking enough water, and poor sleep can drain your vitality. But there's one more sneaky energy thief we haven't covered yet, and it's one that often flies under the radar. Mistake number 5, letting stress run the show. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stress? At my age? Shouldn't I be past all that? But here's the truth. Stress doesn't retire just because we do. In fact, sometimes it finds new ways to creep in, whether it's worrying about health, finances, family, or even just the pace of a world that feels like it's changing faster than ever. And here's the problem. Chronic stress doesn't just weigh on your mind. It tires out your body, too. When we're stressed, our bodies pump out cortisol, a hormone that, in small doses, helps us handle challenges. But when cortisol sticks around too long, it's like leaving a car engine running all night. It drains your energy reserves, messes with your sleep, and even weakens your immune system. The good news? You don't have to eliminate stress completely. That's impossible. But you can learn to manage in ways that protect your energy. Here's a simple place to start. Take 5 minutes each day just to breathe. Not the shallow, automatic breaths we do without thinking, but slow, deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth. It sounds almost too easy, but this little reset tells your body, hey, we're safe. We can relax. Another trick? Make a habit of pausing before reacting. When something frustrating happens, a long line at the pharmacy, a grandchild's meltdown, try asking yourself, will this matter a week from now? Often, the answer is no, and that perspective can help dial down the stress before it drains you. And here's something else to consider. Connection is a powerful stress buster. Loneliness can be just as exhausting as physical labor. So even small social moments, a phone call with an old friend, chatting with a neighbor over the fence, can recharge you in ways you might not expect, putting it all together. So let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Feeling vibrant after 60 isn't about drastic overhauls or chasing some impossible standard of youth. It's about tuning into your body's needs and making small, thoughtful adjustments, like fueling up with protein, keeping gently active, staying hydrated, protecting your sleep, and managing stress before it manages you. Think of it like tending a garden. You wouldn't expect plants to thrive without water, sunlight, or good soil, right? Your energy works the same way. Neglect one key element, and you might still get by. But give each one a little attention, and suddenly everything grows brighter and stronger. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these energy mistakes surprise you the most? Have you already tried fixing one of them and noticed a difference? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this video helped you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best life after 60. Because here's the truth. Age isn't about losing energy. It's about learning how to use it wisely. So here's to your health, your vitality, and all the bright days ahead. Thanks for watching, and remember, every small step counts. You've got this.